or some crack. And
You want some powder and some crack? Pump my gas for me. You know what I'm saying? But basically, so you want some powder and some crack?
This guy raped me, but he used condom and his dick was big and he.
How did he with a?
Cause he like grabbed me like
What's
that.
up, girl? What the fuck?
What I mean, like
Yeah.
he was unhuman.
Hey, look, man, y'all know who that is, man. And we out here on good vibes. We ain't on no bullshit. We on good vibes. You feel what I'm saying? Tell these folks who you is, man.
And put like a nice little what's it called? Filter on this.
I will. I do this. I do this.
Girl, you pretty anyway.
Y'all know who that is, beautiful lady, man. I love you too. You be good, man.
From a rising star in Hollywood to a tough fall from grace, what happened to Maia Campbell? To get the full picture of Maia's story, let's take it back to the beginning, a life full of promise and opportunity. Maia Campbell was born on November 26, 1976 in Tacoma Park, Maryland, into a family that many people would call successful and smart. Her mom, Bebe Moore Campbell, was a well-known author and mental health advocate, famous for her best-selling books and her work to raise awareness about mental health, especially in Black communities. Growing up in a wealthy part of Los Angeles, Maia was surrounded by privilege, culture, and ambition. Her mom's commitment to breaking the stigma around mental illness really stuck with her, even if Maia didn't fully get its importance back then. From a young age, Maia showed a real talent for the arts. With her beauty and charm, it didn't take long for Hollywood to notice her. One of her first roles was in the 1993 film Poetic Justice, where she acted alongside legends like Tupac Shakur and Janet Jackson. It was a small part, but a big deal for the young actress, showing off her potential in a major project. Before long, Maia's star was on the rise. She snagged guest spots on popular TV shows like Thea and South Central, getting valuable exposure in an industry that's tough to break into. But her big break came in 1995 when she landed the role of Tiffany Warren on the hit sitcom In the House. Acting with LL Cool J and Debbie Allen, Maia won over audiences with her humor, relatability, and undeniable presence. The show was a hit, running for 5 seasons, and Maia quickly became a household name. Everything seemed to be going great, and the future looked bright. But behind the scenes, things were starting to unravel. What many people didn't know was that Maia was diagnosed with bipolar disorder early in her career. The diagnosis was a shock, and while it explained a lot of the emotional ups and downs she was experiencing, it also added a whole new layer of complexity to her life in the spotlight. Back then, mental health wasn't something people talked about openly, especially in the Black community, and Maia struggled to manage her condition in an industry that expected perfection all the time. Despite these challenges, there were some good times. Maia married Elias Gutierrez, and in 2000, they welcomed a daughter. For a little while, it seemed like she had found her groove, a loving family, a promising career, and the support she needed to handle her bipolar disorder. But the pressures of Hollywood, along with her untreated mental health issues, started to take a toll. Her struggles weren't just personal. The demands of acting, the public eye, and the stigma around mental illness made it hard for Maia to get the help she needed. She began to pull away from the industry, and as her on-screen appearances became less frequent, the first signs of her life spiraling out of control started to show. Just when it seemed like Maia's life was finally settling down, everything took a turn for the worse. In 2002, Maia Campbell's world fell apart when she divorced Elias Gutierrez. Not only did she lose her partner, but she also lost custody of her young daughter. That separation hit Maia hard, adding a lot of emotional stress to her already bad mental health. Then, in 2006, tragedy struck again with the death of her mom, Bebe Moore Campbell. Bebe wasn't just Maia's mom, she was her biggest supporter and a real force in raising awareness about mental health in Black communities. Her book, 72-Hour Hold, published in 2005, touched on mental illness and its effects on families, and many thought it was inspired by Maia's own struggles. When Bebe passed away from brain cancer, Maia was crushed. To make things worse, she was estranged from her family and wasn't there for her mom's last moments. This only deepened her feelings of isolation and abandonment, marking a major low point in her life. Then, things got even more public. In 2009, Maia's struggles became visible to everyone when some troubling videos of her surfaced online. These clips showed her in a really disoriented state, and instead of getting compassion, she faced a lot of judgment and ridicule. Her real battles with mental health and substance abuse turned into a spectacle for others to gawk at, which only added to the stigma she was already facing. Around this time, Maia had some run-ins with the law, making headlines for her erratic behavior. One incident that stood out was when she was found at a Waffle House, clearly in distress. Reports painted a pretty grim picture of someone in crisis, fighting some serious inner demons. Despite all this, there were moments when Maia tried to get help. In 2012, she appeared on Iyanla Fix My Life, a show focused on healing and rebuilding lives. It was one of her most public attempts to tackle her issues, where she opened up about her bipolar disorder and the pain of losing her mom and daughter. It was a raw and vulnerable moment that gave her supporters a glimmer of hope. Maia also made efforts to reconnect with her daughter and get her life back on track. There were times when she managed to stay sober and stable, which gave everyone hope that she could turn things around. But the road to recovery was rocky, and setbacks kept getting in the way of her progress. Her public struggles became a cautionary tale about the harsh realities of untreated mental illness and the lack of support for people like Maia. Despite everything, Maia really showed some serious strength as she worked to get her life back on track. Through all her ups and downs, Maia Campbell proved she was tough as nails while trying to turn things around. One of the most meaningful things she did was honor her late mom, Bebe Moore Campbell, who was a huge advocate for mental health, especially in the Black community. Maia wanted to adapt her mom's famous book, 72-Hour Hold, into a project that could help raise awareness about the issues she had faced herself. It wasn't just about keeping her mom's memory alive, it was about shining a light on the struggles that hit close to home for her. She also started making public appearances to share her journey and progress. One standout moment was on TV1's Life After, where she opened up about her challenges, dreams, and the steps she was taking to rebuild her life. For many, these moments showed Maia's determination and resilience. She was a woman who, despite everything, was committed to getting back on her feet. At one point, it looked like things were really turning around. Maia got her own apartment, which was a big step toward gaining her independence. Plus, she started to mend her relationship with her daughter, which had been rocky for years. For those following her story, these were hopeful signs that redemption was within reach. But just when it seemed like things were getting better, Maia's past struggles came back to haunt her, derailing her progress. In 2017, a heartbreaking relapse put Maia back in the spotlight in a really vulnerable way. A viral video surfaced showing her in Atlanta, clearly struggling and looking out of sorts. The video, filmed by people who seemed more interested in exploiting her than helping her, spread like wildfire online, causing a wave of outrage and concern. It was a tough reminder of the battles Maia was still fighting, even as she tried to move forward. The video caught the attention of LL Cool J, Maia's former co-star from In the House, who took to social media to make a heartfelt plea. He asked anyone who could reach Maia to help her get the support she needed. His message highlighted how often people in crisis are taken advantage of instead of being helped. LL Cool J's response also showed how much he still cared for Maia, even after all these years. Meanwhile, Maia's manager spoke out against those who shared the video without offering real help. He pointed out the systemic failures in supporting people with mental health issues, stressing the need for compassion instead of judgment. For many, this incident was a wake-up call about how society often fails individuals like Maia, choosing to mock or exploit their struggles rather than lend a hand. Maia's relapse was a tough blow, but it also sparked important conversations about mental health, addiction, and the need for a kinder approach to helping those in need. Her story, while heartbreaking, continued to highlight the importance of advocacy and understanding. Today, Maia's story is a real eye-opener about the ups and downs of fame, but it also shows us how tough it can be to fight for a second chance. Her life right now is full of challenges and moments of self-reflection. She's been through a lot with addiction and mental health issues, and her journey highlights just how complicated these struggles can be. Maia is still dealing with the realities of living with bipolar disorder and the pressure of being in the public eye, which just goes to show how relentless these battles can be. Even with all the setbacks, her life reminds us how important it is to have understanding and support for people facing similar challenges. Her mom, Bebe Moore Campbell, was a mental health advocate, and her legacy shines brightly in Maia's story. Bebe's work, especially her book 72-Hour Hold, which drew from her experiences with Maia's condition, really pushed for more awareness and advocacy in Black communities. It's a powerful reminder that we need to talk about mental health openly and provide a safety net for those in crisis. Maia's journey shows just how crucial this kind of advocacy is, not just for individuals but for their families and communities too. Maia Campbell's path is both heartbreaking and inspiring. So what can we do to help those who are fighting similar battles? Maia's story is a wake-up call. It encourages us to move past judgment and embrace compassion for those dealing with mental health issues, especially in marginalized communities. For all of us, it's a reminder that change starts with education and advocacy. Groups like the National Alliance on Mental Illness NAMI offer resources and support for individuals and families facing these challenges. These tools can really help create a more understanding and empathetic society. Maia's ups and downs show the strength it takes to face tough times, and her journey highlights the need for community and systemic support. By sharing her story, we can help break down the stigmas around mental illness and addiction, making room for healing and hope. While Maia keeps fighting her battles, her story inspires us to make sure no one has to go through their struggles alone.